Hey, Algebra 2, this is the second part of that first word problem, or the first situation where Mrs. Olson is trying to throw a water balloon at me. Man, what is she trying to do? Alright, so let's figure out what we have to do in this question. It says, haha, Mrs. Olson missed. The balloon hit the ground. How long did it take for the ball to reach the ground? So this situation is giving us some new information. We don't need to find two things, we're only needing to find time. So we're trying to find the time, so that means we know the height. Well, what is the height when the time, by the time that it's hit the ground? The height would be 0. So we can say the height is 0. Alright, so let's plug that in for h of t, which is height. So we have 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 14t plus 50. So, what are our different methods of solving for x? We know how to factor, but this is not factorable, doesn't look factorable. We know how to complete the square, but first of all, completing the square is hard, and it's impossible with that number out in front without getting rid of that first, and that's just doing too much. So the last thing we have is quadratic formula. So let's use that. So let's identify A, B, and C. A is negative 16. Be careful that you keep that negative with it. B is positive 14. And C is 50. Positive 50. So we say C equals 50. Alright, I'm going to plug all of these things in for you. Alright, there it is. And don't forget the song. X equals negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Alright, so there it is. We have to do everything that's inside the discriminant first. So we're going to end up with, remember the discriminant is this here. So we're going to end up with what that all equals. Now you can put this all into your calculator as long as you put it in as parentheses 14 squared minus 4 parentheses negative 16 parentheses 50. And then you'll be cool. Just be really careful how you put that in. So that's 3,396. So we have negative 14 plus or minus the square root of 3,396 all over, let me just say now, 2 times negative 16 is negative 32. Since all of these on the bottom are as a group, you can just multiply them whenever you want to. Alright, so now we have negative 14 plus or minus the square root. No, we already just found what the square root is. It's 58.275. Let's just be as accurate as we can. At least 3 decimal places here. All over negative 32. So we can separate that out into 2 equations, one of them which is negative 14 plus 58.275 over negative 32, and then one that's the exact same thing, but minus. Alright, so 275 over negative 32. So we get as our 2 possible solutions negative 1.38 approximately, and the other one is approximately 2.26. Well, now once we find solutions, now we actually have to look back into the context of the problem. So what was it asking us? It was asking us, how long did it take for the ball to reach the ground? Now we know that time is x, and that's what we just found, because in the quadratic formula it says x equals all of that stuff. So we just found the time. Okay, so now we have to look at our 2 solutions, because only one of these can actually make sense. We have negative 1.38 seconds and 2.26 seconds. Well, guess what? You don't have negative time. So the correct answer is that it takes 2.26 seconds to hit the ground, because she missed. And then next we're going to find out how long it's going to take for it to hit me on the head, which should just be a little bit less time.